if you've been wanting to move to the countryside and don't know where to really start, I think this video is for you. So a few months ago, somebody DM'd me asking me how they would, what I'd advise them on how to move to the countryside. And at first I didn't have an answer, but I was just sitting today and thought maybe I do have the answers, and decided to film a video about it. Okay, so my name is Winnie, for those who are new here. I do videos on countryside living because I do live in the countryside with my parents. I've lived here for 3 years, just to give a little bit of background context, and I want to share with my community my experience here so far. First, I was going to do this all structured thing, but sasa nimeamua just to wing it. I'd even done notes on my notebook, but nimeamua just to speak out of my heart, whatever comes out. So it's currently almost 6 p.m. I'm just trying to film this before the sun goes down, so bear with the lighting, it's not that good. So tuanze, the first thing my parents did was to make the decision to move here. I was about 17 years old, so I can recall the move quite well. So my mom, she had worked running as an hotel business for over 20 years in a town here in Kenya, and in a certain town here in Kenya, and she wanted to change, I guess. And that's when she started talking about moving back home to the farm and starting a new life. So at first there was a bit of resistance from what she told. They were like telling her, what about security? That place is so secluded. What are you going to do to ensure things are secure, that people are, you're not attacked at night, vitu kama hizo. So after making the decision, the first thing you do is make the decision. Then after that, now the questions start flowing. What will be your income? You're quitting your job, or you're quitting your business just to start over in uko ushago for whichever reason umeamua. Are you sure that this will work out? Are you sure? That's what most people tell you when you tell them your goal about moving to the countryside. But I'm here to assure you the best thing to do is just keep it to a minimal. Don't tell everyone, because people will start echoing those fears pe umekuwa nazo at the back of your mind. Yeah, so that's the first step I can tell you. The second thing is figuring out things such as food, water and shelter. So lucky for us, we had built our house, and as I had shown in a previous video, it was built in 2004, quite early. Yeah, I know. And my mom was even in her early 20s. So if in your early 20s, I think this is a sign for you to start investing in building a house back at home. Usiishi in this, like the city life, wasting money buying cars, and back at home hata una nyumba. That's what I'd advise you. Mi sina nyumba for now, but that's a goal of mine. I trust me, I'll build a house for myself. Like if my mom did it in her early 20s, I know I can do it myself. When it comes to water, my mom is like a super woman. She thinks before. So my mom and my dad had already built like they'd already dug a shallow well. Yeah, that's where we get our water. And before we moved here, they invested in a water tank for about 10,000 liters. That's what we use for drinking water currently. Yeah, because the rains are not that much over here. but we also but it's a plan of ours. We make every year in our family goals, we indicate when to add more tanks, because if we harvest more water, well and good. So when you're planning to move, as Ed said earlier, there was the issue of questions being raising about security. We took security. So when you moved, as Ed said, there was an issue about relatives asking us about the thing on security, if we didn't fear being attacked at night. So what my parents did, they invested yet again on a fence. They put a fence around the house, the homestead, the farm, but it did take time because they did it in phases. They did the home compound first, then they moved on to the other parts of the land, because it's quite a big piece of land, and so they moved to the other parts later on as we continue to live here. So si lazima ufanye kila kitu. So and other people ask on vitu kama land. There's some people who don't want to go back to their ancestral homes for whichever reasons, so you can invest in land in another area, but do your research first. Don't move to a community where you'll feel unsettled forever because you chose wrongly. What else? And for land, for young people, I have met, living here, I've met like young people, like people who are in their early 30s or late 20s, who after uni decided to come back and do other things within the community. So what they did, after I talked to them, what they told me is they decided to quit city life and focus on living here, because they one of them did tell me, let's call him, he was a banker in Nairobi, and so he came back and he quit his job in 2020 during COVID and decided to take on farming. He said, I asked him Juzi too, like, why did you decide to come back? Kasema he decided to see if he can thrive living in the countryside rather than continue working like a 9 to 5 in Nairobi. That's an answer most people can relate to. Like, most people want to do that. So don't be afraid. If others have done it, you can do it. Yeah. What else? So what they did, these two individuals I talked about, like that I know, who left the city to their jobs and everything to come and live here, what they told me is they talked to their parents, told them their plans, and the parents were willing to give them a section of land to do their projects and build a house. And if you're accountable with what you're telling your parents, trust me, they'll believe on your vision. So you do that. But you can also buy your own land if you have the money and just start living in the countryside. Alafu, to move on to food. So food, the move was quite tricky when it came to food, because we had not planted anything on the farms that year. So we used to buy food in a nearby town, which was a bit tricky, because there's sometimes we'll send a motor rider to get the food and they will come back around 7, and that time my brother was small. And when the food arrives, before even you cook it, it's already late. Before you cook it, it's already late. It's like 9 p.m. and the children are sleeping, because it was my brother and my small nephew. They were babies at the time. Yeah, so with time we adjusted. Don't be scared to start You can do a little bit of shopping when you first start in the nearby town, the supermarket. You buy in bulk and store it. Yeah, and also, yeah, but with time we progressed in investing in cows for the milk, started poultry farming for the eggs, planting food on the farm, vegetable gardens, seasonal vegetable gardens like we do. Like right now we are starting one. It's a learning process, so see, don't worry about that. You learn as you go on. Yeah, what next? Let me see. What else? The daily life in the countryside is going to be a bit different from what you're used to, so it takes some time to adjust to the new way. Kwa hivyo kuwa prepared mentally for some, kuwa prepared mentally and emotionally to feel some change, and don't feel bad about anything. You just be prepared, and vitu kama friendship and community, trust me, it will take time to build your new friend group or community. But what I advise you is, when you get here, kwanza mind your own business, build your, like, yeah. I think about the countryside, I would tell you, like, people here, you never know their intentions, so you just be keen about who you invite to your place, your home, or share your secrets with, because what most Kenyans fear about the countryside is the rumors and stuff. Something I learned from my mom, she's a superwoman. She decided to keep things like interactions minimum. Usikwe too open to kukubali watu to enter in your space. You don't know them that well, trust you me. Holidays, and they were so greeting you so nicely and stuff. When you come to live here, trust you me, they won't be that friendly like us. Our relatives, when you moved here, they were not so happy about us moving back home, because, and even neighbors, because wengi wao walikuwa wanakujia kuni kwa kichaka yetu, nyasi ya kulisha ng'ombe. So when we fenced the place, there's somebody who really got mad because his cattle were being fed, were grazing on that land. It's sketchy, and people will spread rumors. And I'm telling you, mind your own business. Wacha waongee, don't even react to anything, because protect that energy you come in with and you start, because if you spread it on fighting with people around here, utaboeka tu na kukaa hapa. So just mind your own business. That's what my mom, something she just taught us, like, mind your own business. If you meet the person who hates you and who hates your family, and they like look at you bad, you just smile and walk away. Nitakwambia ni, like, nitawaambia nini? Hivyo ndio vitu ziko. People are not very friendly. Utajiuliza tu, sasa mimi nilikufanyia nini? Like, the place was fenced. It's not me, it's my parents, it's their land. What is, like, why are you even mad? Okay, so the other thing, people, another area which is important is work or income. Most people opt, when they move to the countryside, to turn their earn income from agriculture, but jua too is going to take time on the projects, because you can't plant today and harvest. So I think income here, you can diversify, but living on a farm, the advice I can give you, plant many things, varieties. So kama hapa January kianzisha, kuna maembe, you can sell that. Then it comes to a different fruit, then another thing, then oranges, then avocados. then cowpeas, then maize. Every season or every month you have something to sell, so the income is just going and going and going and going. And also if you have a skill which you can work remotely, you just get yourself Wi-Fi, like those 5G Airtel and Safaricom routers, the new ones, and just install it, work from home, get a remote job, apply for remote jobs. NGOs are around here looking for volunteers, people with skills, consultants. So I think you can work ukua huku bado. You can still work, like work 9 to 5 when you're still here, like a part-time job, or yeah. So sikwe like what will I do for money? Money is always here in the countryside. What else? Challenges, obviously there'll be challenges, like let's say you don't have the water now you have to find a way to where you'll be fetching water, or you have to find solution. Vitu kama electricity, we're lucky as like the rural electrification plan Kenya had ilitufikia, so as you have electricity, but you can invest in a good solar system for your house which is sustainable, because obviously in Africa the sun. So what I'll tell you, there are many benefits of, like there are so many benefits of moving to the countryside, especially because it enables you to live a slower life. Oh, something I'd not talked about, if you have kids, what us tulifanya. So the good thing, when you're moving here, I was almost finishing high school, but my younger sister was still in secondary school, so she was in boarding, thank God. But my smaller sister was in day school. At first she was doing the commuting thing to school by school bus, but it was quite far, so my mom opted to take her to boarding school. Yeah, right now she's still in boys school. Inshallah tamaliza shule very soon. And now my small brother, times are changing, so here in the countryside the people have created academies, private schools, so kids get picked home from their gates to school and back. That's a good thing. So don't sleep on moving to the countryside because you're scared, like how itakuwaje. You just plan yourself, decide you're going to do this and this and this. Don't let yourself like live in fear. Time is moving. People moved in the country to the countryside in 2020 during COVID, and they are thriving. I've seen a couple of people that build so much. Time is going. Usiketi ugoje like 2030, you're like kaya ningeenda tu nyumbani, like ningeenda tu ushago. Like in 2025, this is your sign for you to move to the countryside, and I do hope somebody will benefit from this video. And lastly, my reflections. Moving to the countryside, it's not a wake up and go type of thing. People have to think about it like an actual goal. Na usiogope to make that change kama ndo unataka. I'm very sure there's something that triggered you or motivated you, and I pray it keeps on motivating you to build a new life in the countryside. You can start by just coming building your house, alafu unaanzisha project zako bado kuwa tao, alafu na when you're ready to move, una move. Why wait? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you don't know me, my name is Waini. I do videos on countryside living because I do live in the Kenyan countryside. So feel free to subscribe and join the community. See you in my next video. Bye.